What's up, friends? Today we're going to test out a new wildlife lens. We're on the gravel bike. We're out in the land near Blue Springs. We're gonna head over to Blue Springs on the Spring to Spring Trail, do some off-road riding and some wildlife shooting. So let's get into it.
Before we get going on the trail, we'll start the day with a small intro to the bike I'm riding. Yeah, you probably know me for my mountain bike videos, but let's get real here. I love bikes of all kinds, and this is my gravel bike. It's a Cannondale Cad X from about 2015. I've had this cyclocross frame for about 2 years now, waiting to be fully built. I finally felt the need to upgrade my road bike components, so I was able to build this bike up with the takeoffs from my Trek. It's running a Sensa Empire 11-speed group that has been modified for a 10-speed hub, so I took off one of those cassette rings in the back, and now it's a 10-speed. I found this really cool lead-out style bag on Amazon that is robust and looks really good on the bars, and my GoPro is mounted to the front of that with a snap mount. It's not necessarily there for ride point of view footage, more so ease of access. I could just pop it on there and take it off whenever I want, and I know exactly where it's at. All other parts on this bike have been cobbled together, and it honestly performs like a dream. Now let's get on with the ride and try to find some wildlife. Mostly on this paved greenway, we were only able to find spiders and tortoises with a variety of wildflowers.
Just for perspective, I don't know if you can see the spider web, but it is right there.
I'm trying to improve my knowledge of the local wildlife and species names, so bear with me while I try to identify these. The banana spider is a very common trail goer. You'll likely see this all year round in Central Florida. This curious creeping vine flower took some research to possibly identify as blue curl, but let me know your opinion on that. I'm still not 100% confident on this ID, but it's the closest thing I could find. And of course, the gopher tortoise. This is an important species that provides shelter for at least 360 other animal species from its burrows. The banana spider was definitely my easiest subject today, and it seems to be one of the most common species out there. For any trail goer, if you're lucky, you may have had one of these large webs caught in your helmet. Webs of which can be color matched by the spider to better camouflage its surroundings and catch prey. Finally, we're getting closer to the springs because this is a particularly hot day in Central Florida, but no doubt this windy paved trail is a blast to ride on a road bike or gravel bike. As you roll through the long entrance of Blue Springs, you'll notice an old-looking house at the main parking lot. This is the Thursby House, one of the area's first European settlers. He came here with his family in 1857. But long before that, Native Americans occupied and thrived in this area surrounding the mystical spring. Shell mounds have revealed the deeper history of this land, and new discoveries are still left to be found out there. And nothing is more refreshing on a 100-degree day, pedaling along the hot blacktop, than taking a quick dip in the springs that remain about 72 degrees all year round. I was able to capture some of the freshwater varieties that hang out around the springs. These large fish in shadows are somewhat spooky and can certainly cause some concern, but for the most part, these larger species will stay away from the crowded spring and are no threat to your feet. This is a bowfin looking for a snack, and right behind it you'll see a large slender silhouette that is actually a long-nosed gar, and sometimes mistakenly called an alligator gar. Unfortunately, my GoPro actually malfunctioned while I was dipping into the springs. I swear if you don't format your SD cards on the GoPro and really update and make sure everything's great on them, they will freeze on you, or they will record footage and you'll just never see it. So I apologize for not having any underwater footage, but next time there will be. Let's jump back to the trail and end this video.
Well, that was actually a really fun experience. There is a little bit of wildlife. I hope that you enjoyed the video and the photos. Mostly in the park. There wasn't much wildlife out on the trail, on the paved trail. But that was our little strike mission. Really cool to check out. It's a spring to spring trail in the land, and it brings you straight to Blue Springs and several other springs if you keep it going. But it's like a 10-mile loop to the spring and then back to the trailhead. Don't forget to go out there, create your own adventure however you can. Spread some positivity, and I'll see you on the next one.